Hello guys and girls and welcome back. It's your boy Big John, and today I'm going to show you the easiest strategy I've ever seen. Trust me guys and girls, this is going to be so simple you will not believe it. I know you're going to love this one guys and girls, so make sure you hit that like button, subscribe and hit those notifications. Oh man, let's get straight into it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is my free Telegram group, and in this group here I'm going to be giving away gold entries on trades, just giving a breakdown of what it could do, and then possibly an entry with a signal and a take profit and a stop loss. I'm also going to be giving out other analysis and trying to help you out during the week if you are asking what certain trading instruments are doing. Like the last example I just gave out here is ETH/USD and BTC/USD as well. Now here is one of the VIP groups, and this is where I'm specifically going to be giving you out signal type trade setups, just like I gave out here with EuroCAD, and you can see I gave it out exactly here with an entry, a stop loss, and this trade has actually now gone on to hit take profit too. So once you become a VIP member, you're going to get trade setups like this, nice, simple, short and sweet, and this is a trend continuation strategy which should be able to make you at least 1 to 2% a week for your prop firm account or even your live account, however you want to trade it. Now this is my Neo VIP group, and this is where we're specifically going to be trading swing trade setups, and whilst the swing trades come through, I'm going to be telling you about exactly what they could be doing and giving you a full breakdown on what's happening. This is another VIP group, and this is one of the lifetime access, no monthly subscription groups, so you're getting 2 signal groups when you do join the VIP service. Absolutely amazing. So this is the manual version of how we're going to be looking at trade setups, and I'm going to go into MT4 to show you how it looks on Neo as well, which also covers all of these trade setups, and you would be able to automatically take them with an EA rather than the manual setups that we're looking at on these charts. What we're looking at here is the break of structure happening on a daily time frame, as we can see one happened here, and then once a break of structure actually happens, we're looking at a demand level that will form. So we can see a demand level did form over here, and this is how you would have easily been able to catch this trade setup once price came back to it for a possible continuation of a buy trade. If you do want to figure out anything more about these breaks of structures and these daily demands, any of the videos in the description below will show you how to manually catch entries just using market analysis breakdowns. Now when we go over to MT4, this is what I'm talking about when it comes into entries. If we just pay attention to EuroCAD on the 15-minute time frame here, we've got the indicator already printing out all of these supply and demand areas for us, and you can just see already over here that we have a demand level, which is even a proven demand level, and then we have a break of structure. This is what Neo actually prints out for you, and it's perfect because this is what the expert advisor part is actually based on. So if you go over here and click the auto trading button when this happens, what will actually happen now on Neo is that it will automatically take a trade from here, and then your stop loss will be just below these lows. And then what you can actually do is look for ADR1 in pips going forward, which on EuroCAD would be 92 pips. So you'd be looking for a TP of 92 pips going all the way up here, or you could look at ADR2, which of course is 182 pips from the entry. You can set the EA to automatically take those trade setups for you with your stop loss and your take profit levels just like that. This is why I said the automatic version is amazing. When we go over to AUD CAD, just like I've drawn out on TradingView, you can see there was a break of structure on the daily time frame around this area. So in the previous week we actually had a retest to this area, and this is where we saw the big massive red candle on the daily chart, and you can see how you would have been able to catch your re-entry into this pair for 220 pips. The reason why you would have been able to catch your re-entry is because all of these trades I'm going to go over, not one of them wouldn't have had the trend already telling you that that daily break of structure has pretty much already happened. And then the next thing we can see over here is that on the H1 chart there was a verified level and a retest, meaning price action went to that level, retested that level and then broke away. So as I've shown you on EuroCAD, you would have been able to get your 15-minute entry in here for this week. Even if you missed that entry, there was another entry right over here, and you would have been able to take price action all the way up to this level. So now when we look at AUD Swiss franc on TradingView, you can see the same thing here. We have our break of structure because there was a high over here and the market broke on the daily time frame. We have a demand level that formed here, and of course price action continued to buy up. And on MT4 you can see the same thing over here. We've got a bullish agent trend, and now we have on the H1 chart a retest of this level, meaning there was a 15-minute break of structure over here, and of course you would have been able to take price action all the way up to this level. If you did miss this entry here, you had some more entries this week here, which was a bit more choppy, but of course you still would have been able to catch about 50 pips. So this was obviously your better entry, and it was perfectly there for you last week from Friday for you to be able to catch this massive trade for at least 60 pips or holding it all the way up for 130 pips. Again, we can see on AUD USD, we had a break of structure here forming this demand over here. And then we had another break of structure over here forming this demand over here. And we've seen this beautiful continuation. Again, if you need to understand how to do all of these supply and demands, the videos are in the description below. But we can see this beautiful buy trade that actually did happen with AUD USD when we was doing our manual analysis on TradingView. If we go over to NEO, the indicator, you can see here again, the age was bullish on NEO, telling us that we should be looking for our buy trade setups. Once we go to the 1 hour time frame, what do we see here? We see that we've seen our breakout on the daily time frame down here. And then we've also now seen that we've had this verified level right here. So this verified level was touched 3 times for a retest. So you had an entry from here, which was a nice little scalp trade of about 50 pips. Even if you came out of that trade or was taken out of break even, you had another entry over here, which this one obviously was the 230 pip trade setup. This was the last week that actually happened, but if we see now going into this week, we had another area over here where price action now came back to this level, and again you had your entries from here and you would have been able to take another 130 pip trade setup. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so when we pay attention to CAD CHF, we can see there was a huge buy here that broke this last high, meaning that this was a verified demand level down here for us. We also had another one up here, and we're going to go over to MT4 just so I can show you exactly how beautiful it looks. Before we do that though, I do want to clarify there is a video in the description below that shows you how you would enter these trade setups manually for free. It's the market structure course video and it's right in the description. Please do not think I'm trying to say you only need NEO. You can actually do this all manually yourself. Of course, it will just take a lot more time. Okay, paying attention to CAD CHF, you can see CAD CHF here is bullish and it's been like that for 31 days now. If we zoom out on CAD CHF, we can see that massive bullish breakout here, which was on the daily time frame. And then we can see when price action came back to these levels, we had retests here, at least 2 of them, and you would have been able to get this trade set up for 90 pips. And then there was another one over here for at least 50 pips. And then if you held this third one over here, this one would have took you all the way up here for 190 pips. If you missed that trade setup, there was another one in this week over here that would have got you in for again another 120 pips. And then if you missed that one over there, there was another setup from here that would have got you in for at least 80 pips, and then another one over here for 70 pips. And then even coming into this week over here, there's another one here for about 38 pips. So you can see why I'm actually even laughing why I'm saying this, because it's ridiculous. This is weeks and weeks and weeks of continuous pips. Okay, so Euro AUD, we can see that there was a breakout here, meaning that this was a valid supply level up here. And then we can see there's also a breakout here. So this could be why we're seeing price action starting to sell even going into this week. Let's go over to MT4 and see what it looks like. Again, Euro AUD, you can see the trend is bearish. On the 1 hour time frame, what do we see over here? So we had the massive breakout that happened over here, and then price action actually came back to these levels here. So there were some trades that you could have taken from here for about 100 pips right there. Multiple entries here you can clearly see in this week. And then going over, this area is not obviously verified because price action broke it, but at the time it would have been verified as there was multiple taps to this level. And then right over here was the actual NEO trade setup that I did give out to everybody in the VIP weekly analysis Zoom call. This is how I look for my swing trades when they come in. You can obviously see the difference. So price action came to this level once, then it came back to retest it in this level here, which was NFP week. And then there you go. We can see this was a massive trade sell-off for 600 pips. If you missed that one, there was even some more last week, which was right over here going down for at least 220 pips. On EuroCAD, we have the same thing here. We have a breakout over here, which created a supply level up here with these candles. And then we have another breakout that just happened over here with this low being taken out with this candle here, meaning there was a supply level over here. And that was this sells that went all the way down to this level here. There is a buy forming right now. And this is part of the reason why I started to give a buy signal trade setup in my group. And this is what you saw, the one that actually hit TP2 towards this level over here. So with EuroCAD, let's pay attention to the actual sell at first. Of course, that was the bigger one that happened. NEO hasn't picked up the buy trend just yet, but of course I was just paying attention to market structure and just showing you how the manual version still works as strong, even if you just do your analysis on TradingView, as I was able to give out a TP2 hitting trade. But looking at the bearish trend, we can see 37 days ago it was bearish, and then right over here we can see how many entries were in this pair. This was absolutely insane. We had our breakout on the daily pretty much from this level over here. We had a retest to this area over over here, this would have given you a swing trade for 430 pips. If you missed that one, going into the next week, there was a retest over here, giving you 387 pips. And if you missed that one, there was a retest of the area here, giving you about another 300 pips. And then even if you missed that one there was another retest to this area, giving you about 300 pips. Now, when we go into Euro New Zealand, we can see the same thing happening here. We had a break of structure here, creating this supply level up here. And this is how you even would have been able to catch this sell trade coming down here. It never actually touched this box, so you could have had a little problem with that one there, catching it if you were trying to trade this manually. Now, when we come over here, it was kind of the same thing. It actually hit my level I did draw out with my liquidity and sold based on this candle here, but it never actually went back into the supply level, which can happen from time to time. Supply levels are dependent on how big you want them for your stop loss and your take profit. And of course, the main thing to do is to draw it from your last big bullish candle for the supply level. And for the demand, it would have been the last bearish candle, like over here. This level going across here would be a demand. So going over to Euro New Zealand, we can see 37 days ago, this was actually bearish. And then now when we're looking at the 1 hour time frame, you see the trade I told you that you would have missed. This one you would not have missed, because price action actually went to this area here and this became a verified level. When this became a verified level, you would have been able to catch yourself a 500 pip trade all the way down to here. Moving forward to where the Neo trade setup happened, now you can see that there was another sell going down for about 380 pips from that week there. Even if you missed that one going into this week here, again, you can see exactly what happened. This level here, which is now a proven level, was another 200 pip trade. So Euro USD, let's pay attention to this one here. So we have our supply sell here from this break of structure that happened based on this candle. And of course, we can see our supply levels up here. And now if we pay attention to what's happening down here, if I'm looking from a manual perspective, I can see that there was a bearish candle here and price action broke out. So this was my demand level, and you can even see the retest of this level if I'm using this in a manual method. Now you can see that on Neo, it's telling us that the trend is still possibly bearish. So let's just go over to here. And when we're on the actual trade setup, you can see the same thing happen. So we had the breakout from this level here. This was it here, the breakout. And then we had a retest to this level over here. And this was a 340 pip trade. If you missed that trade setup, there was another one in this week here. And I did show that in a previous video on YouTube. Again, this was a 240 pip trade. Guys and girls, I'm telling you, I can't make this any more beautiful the way it's actually trading. Now, even though Neo's still telling us that the trend is possibly bearish, we can see here that there was the breakout on the daily chart over here, and we did have pullbacks happening. So if you combined the two methods together, doing your trading view analysis with using Neo, you will actually become a pip sniping boss in this game. So now let's look at this. So now we see there was a retest to this level over here in the last week, and price action brought up about 290 pips from there. And then going into this week over here, we had a retest towards this level here, and you would have had an entry right over there for about 210 pips. I do want everyone to remember all of these entries based on these areas. Again, you can just use the auto trading button, and the EA would have been able to take an entry on a lower time frame to get you in for all of these beautiful day or swing trade setups. Okay, so when we're looking at GBP CAD, we can see the same thing again here. Look, I'm showing you how consistent this is. It's not me just showing you nothing. I'm showing you consistency. Look over here, we had a break of structure on the daily time frame. We had another break of structure over here with this candle, and based on this low that was formed here. And then of course we had a supply level over here. From this supply level over here, this was actually a Neo trade, and I'm going to show you this on MT4 now. GBP CAD, again, bearish on Neo. So Neo's automatically doing all of this for you. No stress. This time, because price action has actually started to buy up and we're seeing breaks of structure, of course I'm on the 4 hour time frame just to show you how it actually did look, because this is showing a bigger area of supply or demand. So right over here is where we saw these rejections, and I even gave this analysis out to the VIP students to show them that this was a verified level. And we can see right now we had our breakout here, and then of course this was the retest for the Neo trade. Again, on the lower time frame, the EA would have caught you a break of structure entry for this trade for about 260 pips for the sell. Okay, this is a crazy one as well, just like CAD CHF was, but this is GBP CHF. So we see we had a break of structure right over here in the market with this BOS and this level getting taken out, a demand down here as well. Look how price action actually missed this entry. So this is what again can happen to you sometimes when you're doing the manual method. And then we had another break of structure here in the market, and again price action missed this this level for the continuation of the buy. So if you was trying to catch this in a manual method, unless you caught it from down here, you pretty much would have missed a lot of these entries in price action for this continuation of this buy. Now, because GBP-CHF has broken its peak high, this is why it's actually gone blue on the chart, meaning that it's basically going to turn around at some point, and it's telling you, hey, watch out for the turnaround on this pair. But until then, you can keep trading daily demand levels for continuations of buys. So now here, let's go over to the 1 hour time frame. So you can clearly see this big buy that did happen. And then going into these weeks, look what happened. We had a touch to this area here, and you had a possible buy trade set up for about 79 pips. And then you had another touch to this level here, giving you some more buy trade setups for about 80 pips off of this level. Now going into the week that was here, you had another retest to this level here, giving you the huge buy trade setup of 230 pips. And of course, this did extend all the way up here. So you could have done a swing trade for 3 weeks, and that was 300 pips. If you missed that one, again, there was another entry that came in here. This was a bit consolidated, so you may have had 1 or 2 losses in here. But eventually, once you had your 15-minute break of structure, of course, price action bought up all the way, and this was around about 200 pips. Even if you missed that entry going into this week over here, we had the same thing, a verified level, and you would have been able to catch a 15-minute entry all the way up here for a continuation of about 100 pips. And even if you missed that level over there, there was another continuation you could have caught going up here for about 70 pips. Boy, that's all I can say. New Zealand USD. So now when we pay attention to here, nice, clean and simple. So again, with the manual method, I tried to give this trade setup out, hoping that price action would come back to this demand level and continue to buy. You can see how I tried to give it out as a signal based on what we're looking at here. But of course, price action never came back to this area. So with the manual method, the problem you're going to have is that sometimes you're going to draw your box and price action might not just touch it. There were so many pairs, you don't really need to worry about that. It's not going to be, it's not going to be like you're just missing trades everywhere. So right now it never came back, but it was a winning trade and it did go all the way here, and it looks like it's going to its target high. And that was all based on the daily break of structure over here on the chart. And if we pay attention to New Zealand USD, you can see over here, we have the Asian trend is bullish on NEO. And then when we come down into the 1 hour chart, what do we see here? We see our massive breakout that did happen here. And then we had a pullback right over here for an entry. And this one over here was about 200 pips. If you missed that this week here, where we actually missed our possible entry, you can see how this gave you the actual area where you could have been able to buy from. And this was again, another 120 pips. So like I said, unfortunately, our area was like round here and we missed it when it was a manual idea. But of course on NEO, we had the straight buy continuation trade that went all the way up here. So like I said, sometimes you're going to miss these entries, but it's okay because there's so many trades to go over. So guys and girls, I've pretty much covered everything here. If you want to get on the pre-order list for NEO, it's 100 GBP and this is for lifetime access. And you'll also get all of the VIP services for lifetime access too within that price. This is a limited time offer, guys and girls. You won't get no better than this. And if you want to see me make a video on indices and metals with the same type of trading setup, please let me know in the comments below. And if I get 100 likes, I definitely will do that. For now, guys and girls, this is the easiest strategy you're ever going to see. And I didn't even have to make it complicated. Please hit the like button, subscribe and comment below and share. It's your boy Big John and I'm out. Peace.
Started from the bottom like Drake. Got that young moolah, but I learned my mistakes. Climbing up the ladder, gotta watch out for the snakes. If you wanna be the boss, then you have to delegate.